Yeah, I'd say it's Max's most impressive performance, if that's the gist of what you want me to get at.
Yeah.
Because Ortega's win over Frankie was the one where I think the world kind of went like, holy fuck. Because it wasn't that he strangled Frankie, because that wouldn't have been as surprising. It was that it was a knockout, you know. I mean, a convincing one at that, right? Off the elbow, everything else. His chin in that fight, I mean, he was busted up by the end, but like I said earlier, he wasn't dropped, so the intestinal fortitude or the cojones or whatever the fuck you want to call it, he has that in spades, and he came pretty close a few times to getting his back almost. Like he missed his right hook going over the right hip of Max first, like against the cage at one point, although Max kind of created a blade. I'll wait to nerd out, but the point is it was closer than I think a lot of people are remembering it already, because they're saying total domination. It wasn't total domination. Ortega had moments because he's that good. If a boxer watches, like a traditional boxer or a Muay Thai guy or a K1 fan, they watch Max strike, they're not going to say that he's an excellent striker, but in MMA, he's amazing as a striker. It's very different, and he's probably the best example of it. I think Ferguson you could put in there, whereas Connor's kind of like pretty, right? It's like, it's beautiful. Nice strikes, everything's kind of pure, head movement. TJ Dillashaw is very, it's pretty, it's finesse. There's no negative connotation there. It's just impressive. They're like more, what's the word I'm looking for? Kinesthetically aware, if you will, right? They're very balanced, and it looks pretty. But Max is more gritty, right? And he's kind of, in interviews, it's just like, yeah, let's grab, bro. He doesn't come off like he's going to be this cerebral, brilliant fighter, but he is. He fights like his IQ's 200, you know? Very impressive.
Right, let's go.
Okay.
Knowledge.
Real quick, so something I noticed that I didn't hear anyone else talk about except Luke Thomas for a minute. Okay. Ortega's boxing is based off of a shell, right? Yeah. He rolls a lot. And I used to get asked a lot if that would work in an MMA context, and I thought about it a lot, and I said, maybe, but not at the highest level of striking, because the gloves will get through, right? And right before the fourth round, the big difference that I saw when Max came out, Luke picked up on it, but he didn't mention the shell, so I'll give him a hat tip for at least noticing. He was switching stance amidst combos, but resetting back to orthodox. He came out in the fourth round as a southpaw, because if you've been working on your shell, if you guys know anything about a shell defense, essentially, if you throw a jab, I catch it here with this glove. If you throw a right, I turn my shoulder off. I roll it off. You throw a hook, I'm here, right? This hand is low enough that I can defend body shots and uppercuts with it. Throw the straight right off of it. And he uses his left elbow now off of it as well. When someone switches now to southpaw and I'm the same, everything changes around completely. And it's not like he's Floyd. You know what I mean? Or James Toney in his prime, or other Detroit shell type guys, or Philly shell, people call it more commonly. So I think he knew once he went southpaw, he was going to start picking them apart, and he did, because the whole point of angles, people say angles a lot. It's like, yeah, it's an easy word to repeat. We all know what an angle is. But why do we go to an angle, a dominant angle against somebody? It's so that punches are through, right? Because your straight punches, they don't want to like land on a solid target unless they're body shots. You want them through a chin, right? So we cut angles to then go through. Understand?
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing in that fourth round. That was so different, and that's why the eye got all fucking, hematoma almost. It was a brilliant strategy. I don't know why he waited till the fourth to do it or anything. Maybe because of fatigue. And because maybe he doesn't like his takedown defense as much from southpaw. There could be a couple reasons why he waited, but he did, and he knew once he did that he called it. He pulled a little bit of a Babe Ruth there. It was so impressive, man.
Very impressive.
Anyway, that was my big takeaway.
Amazing.
Was him going to southpaw to pick apart the shell defense.
Beautiful.